What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode 8 of the Frontline Film Podcast. We're coming at you today with a couple big news things to talk about and react to. We're also going to talk about Severance as always and catch up on that. Um, we're going to discuss The Brutalist as well. Me and Landon both got around to seeing that finally. And then I'm going to give a brief review of The Monkey. Not really going to give a full review. Landon wasn't able to make it this weekend because he is a loser, but that's okay. I'm still going to give a little brief review of it. And then because of The Monkey, we're going to do a horror movie draft, the best horror movies of the 2020 so far. So I feel like we've gotten some banger horror movies in the last couple of years, so we can kind of reminisce and reflect on those and do a little draft. So, yeah, you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. I'm not a loser. I went to go see my family this weekend. Um,
The
I,
Monkey is a family movie.
yeah, if you want to kill your family. Uh, nah, yeah. What's up, boys? What's up, boys?
Your
Happy
voice
to
is
be
still
back.
chalked,
Yeah, yeah. The voice is still bad. It comes and goes, so I might lose it halfway through this podcast.
but you know what you don't need your voice for? Watching movies.
That's right.
So you're in the perfect you have the perfect hobby right now.
Yeah,
All right, let's jump right into it. First thing, we got our first look at the Matt Damon as Odysseus in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. We just got one little image, and we're gonna be hyped up off this image for the next year and a half until we get a trailer. It also kind of confirms that he will be the lead. I know there were reports going around saying Tom Holland would, which is fine. You know, we love Tom Holland, but I know me and you are both very glad that it appears that Matt Damon is, Odysseus. He's playing the lead. So, absolutely huge. The costume looked great, I
yeah,
thought. Um, it's just one image, so I mean, you don't really have much to go off of, but it definitely like gets you excited.
yeah. Finally, Matt Damon gets his lead in a Nolan film. He's been, you know, kind of really two really good, like off the top of the dome, that is just like in Interstellar and Oppenheimer. He's like really good as a supporting character. Now he gets his lead. Now he gets his lead. We love Matt Damon. I really love Matt Damon. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be like a perfect role for him. Like I feel like he is going to do this character of Odysseus justice, and I'm just so excited to see where this goes. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting news for this movie every week because we literally talk about it every week. So many people are getting added. We got the first picture. They talked about like filming in like some ancient cave or something. So all kinds of crazy stuff. That first look was sick. I don't know if I was expecting a first look this early. I didn't even know they had started filming yet. I thought they weren't starting till like next month, but it might have just been like principal photography or something, you know. But still very cool. Shout out Matt Damon. Very much looking forward to him finally getting that leading role in a Nolan film, and
Absolutely.
I'm sure he'll kill it. Um, so yeah, very excited for that. Another big piece of news that came out this week that I was kind of surprised by is that Leonardo DiCaprio, Emily Blunt, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson are going to be the stars of an upcoming Scorsese movie, Martin Scorsese. Um, Obviously, we've seen it, Martin with Leo, you know, a ton, like a lot. But The Rock thrown in here is just quite interesting. I'm a big fan of a lot of The Rock's movies. Is The Rock a good actor, though? I don't think so. I don't think he's a good actor. He's a great action star. I will give him that, and a lot of his movies are entertaining, but I don't think he's like, you know, a Scorsese level actor. So I saw that and I was like, what? And I think it said he's going to be playing like a Hawaiian crime boss, similar to De Niro's character in Goodfellas, is like what it was described as. Um, that's all I really saw. I don't know. I'm interested to see so this is now like Dwayne Johnson's like second big like acting performance role it seems like he's going to have over the next couple of years because he's in that new A24 movie. I forgot the name of it where he's playing a wrestler. And people are saying it's going to be like his first like real, like acting performance. Um, I think that'll probably come out before the Scorsese movie. So we'll just have to see. Maybe he can prove us all wrong, but I was I was just kind of thrown off by this announcement.
Um, at least you're kind of putting him in a role that's like I feel like he could play. He's not doing something where you're like, oh, he has to like actually be really, really good. I feel like a crime boss, like almost like Momoa in the Fast X one, where he's like kind of crazy. And I don't know if Momoa is like the greatest like actor, but he kind of gives off that crazy vibe in Fast X where he's like going insane and you laugh at him and you're like, wow, this dude's absolutely insane. So I'm wondering what they would do for The Rock. Because, like you said, we see him in action films and he's not like, he doesn't have to act because he's like, you know, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think he can act. Those WWE guys, like, they have to act in the WWE in front of a live audience. So it's not like he probably doesn't have the greatest ability. But when we talk about WWE actors, we're gonna put Batista and John Cena over him like
Yep,
every time.
100%.
So, he's getting his chance now to be like an intriguing character, hopefully in a Scorsese film. And A24 always like builds around the characters. I feel like they do really interesting characters.
Yeah, I just looked at the title of that movie. It's called The Smashing Machine, the
Okay,
one where he's the A24 movie. Apparently that's going to be like his first like, they're saying it might get like award buzz. So we'll just have
interesting.
to see. That comes out at some point this year.
We've seen Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt before. Um, so we know they have chemistry.
Hmm?
Leo is Leo, so we know we won't get a bad performance with him. And Scorsese is like a legend. So you
Yeah.
talk about, I mean, three people that are going to get people to the theater just off their name, or four
Yeah, for
people,
sure. For
like
sure.
Dwayne Johnson, Leo, Emily Blunt, and it's a Scorsese film. Like,
Yep. I mean, whatever you say about The Rock, like he's going to get butts and seats.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and then obviously I think Leo is probably the greatest actor of our generation. And then Emily Blunt is, incredible as well. So, definitely interesting. I'm excited. I love anything Scorsese. I hope he can crank out as many movies as he can. I know he's a little bit older, but yeah, interesting news. We'll just kind of have to see where it goes.
yeah.
Um, some other exciting news, at least for me. I don't know if you even watched this show. Did you watch it? Um, Alan Ritchson basically confirmed that Blue Mountain State season 4 is happening. Um, I don't even remember when that show ended. Like what? It had to be. Do you think it was 10 years ago? When did that show even
Was it not
start?
more than that? I thought it might have been more than that.
Let's see.
I
Blue
just
Mountain
had it
State
up.
show started in 2010, ended in 2011. Yeah, it's been almost 15 years. Um, I watched this show in high school after it was all out and the movie Rise of Thadland, um, which was silly, but the show is so good. It is such a good, funny show. Um, I don't know how you do a season 4 though, because they're all going to be so old. Like you've seen Alan Ritson like in movies nowadays and in Reacher, he's just he's huge. He can't play a college student. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to have new characters or if it's not going to be centered around college. I don't know, but I love Blue Mountain State. I think it's a show that kind of just really flew under the radar. But it's a fantastic like comedy show.
If you, especially if you play like a college sport, like I don't, I don't even know like how you haven't seen this show. Like that castle is like that's why people know who Alan Rich. I don't even know his.
Yeah, Alan Ritchson.
Whenever people refer to him, I just refer to him as Castle. Like how you
Yeah.
not like, the show is so funny. It is like everything that but if you saw it before college, you would be like, like, is this really what goes on? And then it's, knowing what happens, like what I see happening is like some of the people coming back and then being maybe like coaches and
Maybe.
like, cause they cannot be in college. They're too old.
Yeah.
Maybe Thad Castle could still be in college because he's a
Dude, Thad Castle is a coach.
dude. Like, it would just be so funny.
Yeah.
And you got like very young actors like who could be funny and do a show like that. Now, I would imagine you're not gonna get any like high name actors or anything, but like you get like people who are like looking for something to like show they're funny or something. Like, dude, they would be perfect in that show. The show's so funny, and I wonder, like, is it gonna be the same writers like in all of that?
I have no idea. I just know that Alan Richardson is like heavily involved.
You would
Uh,
get really worried about it not being or feeling the same. I
yeah,
want it to have the same like comedic and charm that it had.
me too. And I hope they don't like scale back in the comedy because the comedy
Yeah.
that was like before, you know, everybody got woke and super offended and everything. And comedy movies and shows were like a lot more, you
Yeah,
know,
it,
outlandish with some of their jokes and things. So we'll just kind of have to see. But I saw that, and I know all of us, like me, you, Hunter, Kobe, all the guys were like super pumped when we saw that
yeah,
announced. So um, I don't know when it's coming out. Probably be a couple years, but
yeah.
definitely going to be looking forward to that. And
That's
I don't,
when
have you watched any of Reacher at
no,
all?
no, I haven't.
He's actually like a, I mean, he's just he's like The Rock. He's just a big old, beefy action
He
star.
was in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. He's in
Yeah,
that.
didn't he play like a little he had an accent in that movie.
Yeah,
Did he play
he had like a German
like a
type accent. It
Germanish
was
accent
funny.
or something?
Very funny.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely pumped for that. We'll just have to kind of stay tuned until we get more news.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm pretty sure that's all the big news from this week. Is there anything I'm leaving out that you can remember, or is that I think that's
Um, no, not off the top of my head. I would have wrote it down.
yeah. Um, well, all right. So that's all of our news. We are now gonna roll into Severance. And I'll let you talk first. You're caught up on Severance. You watched the episode last week.
Yeah.
I know I had to live tweet it because you were busy or something at the moment. But yeah, what did you think? I haven't even really talked to you about it.
No, we didn't actually talk about it. This one was, I feel like it's very like consequential for down the road. Do you want to talk about the ending first, or do you want to talk about how it started, or like?
All of it. I don't care.
Okay, so well, I think some of the big things that happened, like obviously to reintegrate, the reintegration took like a very steep toll this time. Like they went straight into the little microchip, and he was at first he was complaining about like he didn't want it to be like he didn't want to go as in depth, right? Like he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. He goes to eat dinner. Helly shows up. Obviously, Helly's watching him because Helly knows who he is, and he's not dumb because he's seen flashes, so he knows who Helly is or Helena or whatever, whoever Helena. And Helena's at the restaurant and they talk a little bit. She brings up his wife. It gets really awkward. And as soon as he leaves there, he goes back home and I want to do it. I want to go hard at it. I want to get
Yeah.
reintegrated like right now.
I think it basically like was something to like help speed up the process.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Another another week with like some very like really, really strong acting performances. I
Yeah.
think the Britt Lauer, the Helena Helly actress, she did really, really good this week.
Yeah.
Even just some of her like minute facial expressions and stuff, dude. She's been killing it this year. Everybody's been killing it this year. Adam Scott is doing so well.
Yeah, he is.
John Turturro is doing great. Like, I definitely can see this like actually making, making a sweep next award season. I
Right.
hope it does because I think it deserves it. But some great acting performances. I feel like this episode and the last one were very much like kind of more filler episodes. I don't know. I think because episode 4 was the one where they were out in the wilderness and it was like very, very different and a lot
Yeah.
happened. And,
Yep.
then these last 2 weeks have been a little bit more chill. Still some crazy stuff, but like for the most part, you know, not much has changed. Um, but yeah, we got Mark getting even more reintegrated. Um, we
Yeah, the
had
dinner scene with
we had the dinner scene with Bert and Irving and Fields.
yep.
Um, and then we also had Mark and Helly, the real Helly, having sex again, under a bunch of plastic.
A
So
10.
good for them. We
Dylan
got
sees
Mr.
his wife
Milchick.
again.
Milchick's looking like he's having like a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Lots of little things going on. Oh, Dylan G's maybe he's having sex with his Audi's wife. I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't. But yeah, he gets another little like
Visit.
meeting and then the wife lies about it, which I don't man, like when you say something like that, like you're not cheating. It's you, technically. Just tell him. I mean, I kissed your innie.
I think Helly would disagree.
Hell, he doesn't. Mm.
But yeah, no, another yeah. Um, hopefully we get a little bit more. I feel like he got reintegrated what? And at the end of episode 3,
Yeah.
and we really haven't seen much other than like the tail end of last week and the tail end of this week. Um, so I really want to see more of that. Yeah, what I don't know what Cobell's been up to. She just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, she's not there. We have Devin. Remember, Devin shows up after the reintegration
Yeah,
and
and then Mark just like
passes out.
falls and he's foaming at the mouth
Yeah, so we don't. It just continues.
to give more questions than
Yeah,
answers.
like we're not getting really any answers. And we have this whole list of questions, and they add about five or six every episode. And they're not all going to get answered at the end of the season.
No,
We still haven't made any progress on finding
Miss Casey.
Gemma or Miss Casey. Like, and then she, Helena walks into the restaurant and keeps bringing her up, and we're like, okay, where are you going with this? And Mark's probably like, why are you asking me about this? Like, this is very odd.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully we'll kind of start getting some more like progression in the story. Um, and just kind of seeing where this season's going.
But we got four episodes
It's
left.
still yeah, it's still been very good, but it's
Yeah.
just I feel like not a ton has really happened since that fourth episode where they were out in the wilderness. But um, yeah, man, we'll just have to keep seeing. I talked to you about it. I saw a bunch of theories that people think like Helly or Helena might be pregnant. Um, that would be wild. I don't know how they would handle that.
Well,
Um,
also, like, the first part of this episode, the first like half is like Helly trying to forgive Mark. And it wasn't Mark's fault. Like, he really thought that it was Helly. And then she got mad. And you're like, you can't, like, he thought it was you, but
a very similar thing happens in The Boys in that show. I'm not going to say with who or what, but um, something very, very similar to that happens. But yeah, no, pretty wild. Helly seemed to be pretty forgiving because she just wanted to make her own memory.
right. Right. Yeah,
As
he goes, do you want me to describe it? And you're like, no, please don't do that.
yeah,
I will say that, like, this season, the episodes are like, I agree with you, they're not as, like, hard hitting. But I will say the acting, I feel like in this season, like,
oh yeah, it's
it's
taking a
cranked
next
up.
step.
It's
Yeah,
cranked up. And a lot of these people are playing two different characters, and which is insane. Like, I've been very, very impressed. I agree with you. Like, Adam Scott and Britt, like, they should be, like, at the top of award season, like, their performances. And, like, you can kind of go anywhere with supporting actor and actress, I feel like
It's just
there's
hard when they're going up against the bear, though, is the thing.
yeah,
Not an elite show with elite acting. So,
yeah,
um, but yeah, no, they've been killing it this season. That definitely a step up. I feel like we've gotten a lot more from Dylan this season and a lot more from Irving. Also, like Irving, both Bert and Irving, their outies have been like they're clearly both up to something.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Irving's been up to something. He was talking on the phone. We don't know to who. And then,
Well, somebody was in his house, right? That was this episode.
yeah,
That
somebody was
was
in his house. Yeah. So
the
people are
guy with the
saying,
long hair.
yeah, people are saying that um, maybe like he invited Irving over just so Lumen could go into his apartment and like investigate. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um, just lots of questions. Um, but I guess we'll just have to keep watching and see.
I guess.
Oh well. But I'm just glad you finally have to endure the pain with me. And then hopefully it won't be a 3 freaking year gap. I kind of hope it is, just so you can get a little taste of it. A taste of a 3 year wait. But yeah, no, Severance is still kicking. I feel like a little bit slower these last couple weeks, but I feel like it's definitely going to pick up. We got 4 episodes left. We're in the home stretch, so yeah, we'll just have to see what happens.
Yep.
So that's the substance.
The
Another,
severance,
huh?
not the substance.
I was looking at my paper. I'm an idiot. That's Severance.
Oh God.
Hey, similar words. They
Yeah.
work out in ants. With an S. I'm an idiot. That's Severance. So now we don't have to do like a full review. I didn't even give it a rating, but we can just
Yeah.
kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
Like I said at the beginning, me and Landon both saw together. We saw The Brutalist last week. I want to hear your thoughts first. I know we both talked about it to each other a little bit, but kind of share with the people what you think.
Yeah, man. Just again, you need to follow us on Twitter because I gave my initial reaction on Twitter, obviously. And dude, like 3.5 hours is very long. Like I can understand like some people being like, I don't want to sit through a 3.5 hour movie. But with the intermission, like it was actually not that bad of a watch. I think you and I can agree.
No,
Like we got up, used the bathroom, got refills, and then sat back down. The first half of this movie, dude, it is so good. It is so good.
yeah,
And there's so much world building. It's building like, all right, how are we gonna feel about uh um Laszlo? Sorry, I was like, what's
Laszlo
his
Tall.
name? But Laszlo and how he's kind of like trying to fit in American society. Adrian Brody is so good. Like
Yep,
facial expressions, body language, you can tell he is just like he's he feels defeated the whole movie.
he's good at playing a Jew.
Oh Jesus.
But he is, bro. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. The
Yeah.
pianist?
The pianist is uh, uh
Anyways.
go ahead and take over real quick. I gotta fix my voice.
Oh Lord. Yeah. So I also thoroughly enjoyed it. Like Wilk said, it's split up into 2 parts. Basically, you get an intermission for like 15 minutes in the middle. So it's basically like two 100-minute movies, I feel like. I definitely think the first half was stronger, and I know you probably agree with me. Adrian Brody is great the whole movie. We don't get really any Felicity Jones until the second half.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce is in the whole thing. He's very good as well. So some really, really good acting. Some amazing cinematography. The score was good. It was just directed well. You could tell, and there were like long cut sequences and stuff. Um, they shot this movie in like I think like 30 something days or something, which is crazy. Um, but yeah, first half is much stronger than the second. It's not that the second half was bad. It's just like I think it might have gotten a little bit too much into like metaphors and deeper meanings and stuff. But it had a great ending, I feel like. It was cool to see them kind of like reflect on all of his hard work, over his life there at the end of the movie. Um, yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I don't really know what I would rate it, but I really am glad that I watched it. And if you love movies, I think you should give this a watch. It's kind of hard to find. It's not really like streaming anywhere or anything. It's in very few theaters, but eventually it'll be on something, and everybody needs to check it out. Especially like if you're just looking for a good acting performance. Like
Yeah,
I think now we can both confidently say like we will not be upset at all when he wins, if he
yeah.
wins, but he probably will win.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's the second half I can see where you're saying like the metaphors, but like as soon as the wife gets there and the niece gets there, there are just subtle things being thrown out the whole time, right? And even in the first half where the Catholic wife like kicks him out of the apartment, like doesn't want him there, like you're like, okay, like she doesn't want him there, whatever. Then the second half, when Felicity Jones' character gets there, and like they're having to be like more, like they have to go to these dinners and everything like that because they're with Guy Pearce. Like you get a shoe shiner comment like right off the bat. They're looking at him different. They're laughing at him, and the daughter of Guy Pearce is very nice. Like she's trying her best. But then like the trip to Italy is like the culmination of all of it. Like Guy Pearce just being fed up with him. And dude, we were shocked. We were like,
yeah,
holy cow.
yeah, and it just kept going, and you're just like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, definitely like not that's not a spot that I thought the movie was gonna go, but obviously it did. But other than that, like very, very good movie. I'm not gonna be upset if this wins Best Picture. Um, honestly, if anything but Amelia Perez wins, it's a win for us. Oscars are next week.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't really realize that till you texted me, and then I was like, oh shoot, like March 2nd is next
Yeah, the
week.
problem. Well, next week, never mind, won't be that busy. The week after that will be really busy because we'll have Severance, Daredevil, Mickey 17, like all of that. Um, but yeah, this this movie is just it's art. It really
Yeah,
is. Like
yeah,
this is a movie as an art form or film as an art form, and you get incredible acting performances. It's shot so good. Um, and even the set design, I said something about it like in the intermission. It's really good. It's really
yeah,
good. Like I'd probably rate it somewhere like at a 9 to a 9.5, somewhere like that. I just was so
yeah.
enthralled.
Yeah, you have to really appreciate like movie making and good acting, I feel like, to find some enjoyment in this. Like I
Yeah.
would say most of our friends would not care for this movie at all.
Mm.
Uh, but we here at Frontline Film love film.
Yeah, we
So
do.
I always love seeing movies like that. I guess that's now officially the longest movie I've ever seen in theaters.
Yeah.
Um, I think before that it was Killers of the Flower Moon, and Killers of the Flower Moon did not have an intermission. So um, I kind of like that this one did. But you know what this tells me? Now that you sat through 3 hour and 40 minute movie,
We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic.
you can finally watch the Lord of the Rings movies with me. Guys, Landon hasn't seen Lord of the Rings, any of them. Any of the extendeds, nothing. He just refuses because they're too long. Well, you know what? You just watched an almost 4 hour movie. You really enjoyed it. And you can make your own intermission. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Whatever.
All right, so now I am going to jump into the movie review for the week. I'm going to be talking about The Monkey, the new like horror comedy from Osgood Perkins, based on a short story by Stephen King, and I think like horror legend James Wan also like helped out with this movie. He was a producer or something. So like I said earlier, Wilk was not able to make it this weekend, but I did get to go see it today. I definitely went into this movie very excited. The marketing for everything and the advertising for this movie had been really cool, really funny, unique. It looked like you were in for a really exciting, funny, like horror comedy, you know, movie. Um, and the monkey in the trailer is definitely pretty creepy. So, you know, creepy vibes. It looked funny. Some wild deaths. That's what I went into this movie expecting. And while I got the wild deaths, some wild deaths too. Other than that, this movie was a big nothing burger. I hate to say it. I was very, very excited for this movie, so definitely very let down. Let's see. The Like I said, some of the deaths were really funny, really interesting deaths. But I mean, Theo James is the main actor. It's just he just delivers a whatever performance. There's not really much of a supporting cast because he actually plays twin brothers in the movie. Um, yeah, the story just kind of sucked. Like it's basically like this th his family or his dad or grandfather like inherited this monkey that's cursed. And whenever you spin the key in its back, it does the drums, and then somebody dies in like a freak accident way. Um, so basically, like early on in the movie, it kills their mom, and then like drives a wedge between them, and they try to make it like also a family drama as well. Uh, and it just doesn't work. Like I don't care about it at all. Like you're not going into this movie looking for like a compelling family drama. We go to the Brutalist to see a drama, you know. You don't go to the Monkey to see drama. Uh, yeah. No, I'm very, very disappointed. I was very excited because I love the Final Destination movies. Um, even though they are probably like really stupid, they're just really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I
And,
always have a good time when I'm watching those. I know you agree.
yep.
And I'm still very excited for the new one that's coming out in a couple months. But yeah, that's kind of what I went into this movie expecting, and that's just not what I got. I really enjoyed Longlegs last year, from the same director. I know you still never saw it. I enjoyed Longlegs way more than this. Um, I was much higher on Longlegs. I think I gave it like 4 stars on LetterBoxd. Uh, Fantastic performance from Nick Cage and forgot the lead girl's name, but um, she was very good as well. And Longlegs is like a genuinely creepy, like unsettling movie. And I thought I might get a little bit of that in here too, because Osgood just did it less than a year ago with Longlegs. But no, you don't get any of that. They definitely they're going for more of a uh comedy vibe here, and it's just not very funny. The jokes kind of fall flat sometimes. It's a lot of like dark humor, and it's just awkward and doesn't fit well. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much more to say about it, since it's just me talking, but very disappointed with the monkey. I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. Um, and I probably would give it, I think in my like video, I think I gave it a 4.8 for now. That was my gut reaction. I don't think it even deserves to be like at a 5. Um, I didn't even like it on Letterboxd. You know, even sometimes like I'll still like a movie and recognize that it's not a good movie, but like I'll personally like it. And I know you're the same way.
Yep.
There's really bad movies that we both like.
Yep.
I This is a pretty bad movie that I didn't like. I will probably never watch it again. I honestly can't even really recommend it. I don't know if you're even going to go see it now after hearing my review. Um, I mean, hey, maybe if you want to go check it out for $5 and see a couple really funny deaths, you'll get that. There are some wild. There's like two or three that are wild. There's one so the first scene of the movie has a wild cameo too. Literally, like the first scene the first actor you see in this movie is an insane cameo, and the first like death of the movie is hilarious.
So you were probably like a couple
After that,
minutes into this movie, and you were like, "Hey, okay."
after that, yeah, dude, after that first death and the cameo, I was like, okay, this movie's about to be a ton of fun, and it just wasn't. It was not at all.
Ah,
Yeah.
tough.
It's not the worst on the year. I have Flight Risk below it. Like I think I gave that a 4.1 or 4.2, something like that. With Mark Wahlberg. Um, yeah. That's my review of The Monkey. Maybe you can go check it out on a $5 day or something, but like don't go out of your way to see this. Um, and there was actually an after credit scene with like a trailer for Osgood, a little teaser trailer for Osgood Perkins' next movie. I think it's called Keeper or something. Looks very strange, but yeah, we'll just uh, we'll just have to see if that one's better. He's currently 1-1. Was Longlegs his first movie? I don't know what else he's done, honestly. Let's look. Bro, you need to watch Longlegs. I think you'd like it.
Done
Huh?
done something,
I think it's on like Hulu or something.
I think.
He did a Hansel and Gretel movie. Hasn't really done much. Looks like he did some of the Twilight Zone reboot.
Hmm.
Anyways, uh, yeah. So that's the monkey. Uh, and in honor of the monkey, even though you didn't get to go see it, still we wanted to do something kind of fun related to the movie. We haven't done a draft in a couple weeks, so we wanted to do a horror movie draft. Not even that this movie is a horror because it wasn't scary at all. Um, but we still wanted to do a little horror draft. We limited it to just horror movies of the 2020s, so the past couple years. I feel like if we included like the last 20 years or something, that would have been way harder.
Yeah, and we could even done like just imagine if we did every horror movie ever.
Yeah, that would have been ridiculous. So we're gonna do five each of our favorite horror movies of this decade. Everything after 2020 is good, even if it qualifies, I think, as a horror comedy
Yeah.
or like different kind of horror. Um, I think it qualifies. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see what we think. But like some of mine are definitely more horror comedies, but I think that's fair for this kind of draft. So. I have not determined an order. I'm about to ask Siri to flip a coin. Pick a side. Heads or tails.
It's
All right. If it lands on heads, you get first pick. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's heads.
It's heads. All right.
go.
All right. All right. So Wilk will get first pick in this draft. Let me write it down. Make my little bracket here. All right. All right, brother man. What are you going to take with pick 1-1?
Yeah, this is I love going first, right? 1-1 for me. Last 5 years. Actually, it's our first review. Uh so I'm gonna pick Nosferatu as my 1-1.
Oh.
Um, this movie is so like set up perfectly. It's so good, right? Like the acting, costume design, set design, uh, the mood, and like the overall like story. Perfect in my opinion. Um, Robert Eggers literally did like cook with this one. Um, Lily Rose Depp is outstanding. Nicholas Holt, our boy, he was great. And of course Skarsgård as Count Orlok. I mean, dude, just like still think about the crossroad scene every day, and still think about the castle scene every day. Even Willem Dafoe and uh, Aaron Taylor Johnson, like in their little roles, like the side supporting role.
Ralph Ineson too.
Yeah, they're so it is so good. When I think of a horror movie, I think about how the mood sets it up. Like, are you tense the whole time? And I think it did such a good job. And it's only right that we did a review on this podcast. It's our first review. It's gonna be my 1-1 Nosferatu.
No, not a bad pick at all. I had that one written down on my list as well. Huh. Okay, so I get back-to-back picks here.
I think I know where you're going.
Huh?
I think I know where you're going.
Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm gonna play this to try to like I'm gonna play the movies that I know you've seen first to get those off the board because my top couple picks you have not seen. So, with that mindset, with this strategy, I am going to go with Barbarian for my first
Yep.
pick because I know that's one that you had seen.
Yep.
I even watched it with you a couple years ago. So, um, I can't remember what year was that. Was that 20? It was either 21 or 22. 22.
Yep.
Um, yeah, The Barbarian's just an insane movie. That it still to this day remains the only or that I mean since I was probably a little kid, it's the only movie that I've ever gone into completely blind. I'd never seen one teaser, one trailer. I hadn't even read a synopsis. I didn't even know it was really coming out until like that week, and then a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, do you want to come watch Barbarian tonight?" I was like, "Okay." And what we got was just shocking. It's also kind of, I mean, it's definitely very creepy. It's definitely more of a horror movie, but it's got some comedic elements as well. Whereas Nosferatu, is like just much more serious, dark tone. Um, Barbarian like has some very funny moments for sure with Justin Long's character. Um, but yeah, no, it was definitely one of the biggest shocks that year of 22. I remember, I think I had it in my top 10 that year. Um, and then when I came to visit you that year, we watched it, and I know you really enjoyed it. So I think that's a great pick here. I think it is honestly, whether it's number one or not, I definitely think it's probably like a top three or four movie of or horror movie of the 2020s for sure. So I'm gonna take Barbarian with my first pick. Um, And I'm going to take something that you have not seen, but honestly, I probably should have taken this one first. But I'm going to go with Substance. I know you still have not seen it. I really freaking wish you would. The Oscars are next week, but
Or two.
huh?
Is it?
I don't know if it's on anything, but it's playing at Marcus. They're playing all of the Oscar movies. Actually, I think like this upcoming week they're playing all of them. Um, You should definitely go check it out if you get the chance, or you want to go to a $5 movie if it's playing on Tuesday. Go see The Substance. It's very good. Don't see the monkey. Um, but yeah, The Substance came out last year. Was another movie that I didn't really know much about going into. I think I'd seen like a teaser trailer on Twitter, but that was it. Um, The Substance is insane. It is a batshit insane movie. Um, Two phenomenal acting performances from Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. It is genuinely the most disgusting movie I think I've ever seen. I've also never seen Human Centipede. I was talking to Grayson about it, and he said the substance is definitely gross, but it's no Human Centipede. So I have not seen that. So that maybe it's not that gross. But movies that I've seen, it is disgusting. But it is such an interesting, unique story. It's got a very like face value message. Like you can easily tell. It's not like it's some hidden message. Like you know exactly what the message is, but you throw that away. Like it's still just a great movie. It's got a phenomenal score. It's directed very well. Great acting. It's disgusting. Some great horror elements. Um, I think it might be my favorite, honestly, like horror movie of this decade. You really need to check it out. I think you would really like it. So, and I'm very glad that it's getting like, still getting a lot of awards hype and it's nominated for Best Picture and Best Director and Best Actress. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with The Substance.
Good pick. I mean, back to back, I like those. Barbarian, I knew was gonna be in one of your like first two. I just knew it.
I just
Um,
wanted to, I wouldn't have taken that early, but I knew that you probably would have taken it next pick.
it would have been my next pick. You are right. You are
Yep.
right. Instead,
I
jeez.
think I feel like I know what you might go.
What?
I think I know what you might go here.
Yeah, it's not hard. Um, my next pick, if I can get my voice to work, because it doesn't want to work right now. My next pick came out the same year. And we like when the trailers came out, I remember us being like very interested in it. And it was actually very, very good. The sequel comes out this year. You probably right on it. The Black Phone is my gonna be my second pick. I think just like how you were with Barbarian, this one was very surprisingly good. Like, I think we had high expectations, but it like exceeded our expectations. Um, Ethan Hawke is so good as a villain, very creepy.
And the
I had to
kids are
look.
good too. Really, a couple really good kid performances as well.
I had to look up the main character's name, Mason Thames.
Yeah, he's playing the new Hiccup in the How to Train Your
Yeah,
Dragon ring.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's really really good. He kind of steals the show. Um, Very creepy elements to this. Like it very is like grounded and real. Like you could feel like somebody's around taking kids, and like that feels very real. So I think that's why. And the ghost element of him, like the ghost of the kids before helping him get out, it's just such a cool concept. And the uh the daughter just makes some outlandish comments throughout the movie.
Yeah, I remember it was really funny. Like we busted out laughing a couple
Yeah,
times. I've not seen it since we saw it in theaters. I definitely am going to rewatch before the new one.
yeah, yeah.
Because I know
Like
he definitely died. Did he not?
the
Ethan
Ethan
Hawke?
Hawke's character.
Yeah,
I thought he did, but
I think he did. It's just been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, no, that's a very solid movie. I knew that was going to be one of your first couple picks.
yeah, but no, this one like I was just more shocked at how good it was and how much I liked it. And then, we're getting a sequel this year. Maybe it'll be like a prequel kind of deal. Maybe.
Maybe that'd be cool.
Yeah. The next one, I didn't really know where I wanted to go with this. Um, because I mean, you've seen some of these movies, but some of these I kind of forgot about when I was going back through my rankings. And this one came out in 21, and it might not be like I don't think the critics like reviewed it very high, but it's such a good performance from Yahya Abdul-Mateen. It's Candyman from
Oh,
2020.
dude, I didn't even think about that when I was
Um,
looking at my stuff.
like I remember how good he was in that movie and how creepy the setting was, and we saw it together, obviously. And I was very like low on it, not low on it, but like I think I had like a seven the first time I saw it. I actually rewatched it last year, and I think I moved it up to like eight. Like it really is really good, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen kind of steals the show of how good he is, and they bring back the original Candyman, which is very freaking cool. Um, but like, there's some shots in that movie, there's some deaths in that movie that you're like, wow, like this is actually really good. They use like, of course, the mirrors as a play on like Candyman, and they do some really cool shots in that movie. And I feel like it shouldn't be overlooked because Yaya is so good. Um, and it might be like, is it perfect? No, probably not. But I do remember like very vividly how good like the movie was shot and told and the story coming back around and everything. And at the end, or like when the reveal comes out of who Yaya's character is, you're like, holy. But no, I really enjoy Candyman. Obviously it's a remake or a retelling, and yeah, I'm gonna put that in
I
number two.
remember, I think Jordan Peele like had a hand in making
Yeah,
remaking that.
yeah,
He was a producer or something.
yeah.
No, I completely forgot about that. I thought you were about to take another movie that came out in 21, which I wrote down that we'll get to later. But no, good pick. All right, so for my third pick, okay, for my third pick, I'm going to take X, the first of that trilogy. I think you had even told me that you didn't even just love X that much, but I'm a huge fan of the first one. I don't think Pearl is that great. I think Mia Goth delivers a better performance in Pearl because it's a much more like character focused story. And then you got the finale of the trilogy in Maxine, which came out last year. Um, I think I liked it better than Pearl, but it's still not near as good as X. X is definitely the best one. If you're gonna watch any of them, that should be the one you watch. I remember seeing it. I saw it with Grayson, senior year of college. We were the only two in the theater, and that is a movie like, especially seen in theaters, dude. It genuinely is really creepy. You got these two old people like sneaking around killing these kids and people getting eaten by alligators and stuff. it's one of the most like uncomfortable movie theater experiences I've ever had. Like when the old woman like gets naked and gets in bed with her while she's sleeping, like I that made me so uncomfy. I was like, I just like there's a couple instances in that movie that are just like, wow, like they
Mm,
actually did this. I have not really seen this or felt this way in a movie before.
yeah.
It's also like it had some comedic elements. Like I know it had Kid Cudi in it. He was pretty funny. Jenna Ortega. Um, and then Mia Goth. Obviously, she's a great up and coming actress. She's got cast in The Odyssey. I think she's also. I know we don't really have much about the movie, but I think she's also got cast in Blade. Um,
I didn't know that.
which is good because Blade will probably be more sort of kind of a horror Marvel movie. So uh, yeah, no, I loved X. I know you weren't just massive on it, but I really enjoyed it. I think it's a good slasher, and it really like uh, kind of put Mia Goth on the path that she is
Yep.
on right now. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with X for my third pick. All right, for my fourth pick, I'm gonna go with another movie that came out last year. I think it was in my top five at last year actually, or top 10 anyways. Let's look. 2024. It was number five on the year last year for me, and that is Alien Romulus, the newest installment of the Alien movies, which you also have not seen because you are just a
That
loser.
one's on
That
Prime.
one's definitely on Hulu.
Hulu.
I think so. Um, Alien Romulus. I didn't expect it to be this good. I think the last couple Alien movies that we've gotten were not that great. Um, what was it? Alien Covenant, and then was there another one before or after Prometheus, or was it Covenant, the previous one?
I keep forgetting there's a video game too. So
Yeah. Well, I think the last couple, then obviously like the fourth and fifth one or Resurrection or whatever is like a bad movie.
yeah,
So this franchise doesn't always hit. So you never really know. But I remember when the first trailer came out for this, we were like, okay, that is a damn good trailer. It was like in space, nobody can hear you scream.
yep,
Um, and it is a phenomenal, phenomenal movie. Directed by Fede Alvarez, um, who did Don't Breathe, which you've seen Don't Breathe.
yep,
So he had experience working in like quiet, like making the quietness and silence like its own character being so scary. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. You just got to see Alien Romulus. It's different, I feel like, than some of the other Alien movies. It's way creepier. The visuals of that movie are unbelievable. Um, like the spaceship looks great, and what else? You get some great performances. You got Kaylee Spaney in that, who she's coming up and coming. I forgot the dude's name. What's his name? He's also an up and coming actor. Alien Romulus. David Johnson. He plays Andy. Yeah, David Johnson's an up and coming actor. He's really good. And then Isabella Merced, who we've seen in a bunch of stuff. She's in it as well. So some great performances, very creepy, very exciting, good sci-fi movie, good space stuff. Um, and I think Fede Alvarez is supposed to be doing the next one as well. I believe he got signed on for it. So definitely going to be looking out for that. You need to check it out.
yeah,
I know you like it because I know if you like the first like two or three Alien movies, you're gonna love it. Because I think it takes place actually immediately after the first one.
yeah.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm gonna take Alien Romulus with my fourth pick.
Okay, so I have four and five right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, so first one came out for my fourth pick. Came out in 22. Came out in 22. It is a reboot of one of my favorite slasher series of all time, and that is Scream with Jenna Ortega. I think it's 22. I might have got it wrong. Pretty sure it's 22. Look
I
at
think
that.
it is.
22. Yep. Um,
Scream
and
5.
yeah, Scream 5. With Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barrera. Um, and this one kind of plays on like nostalgia a little bit, but that's not to say that it's not fun. Um, Mikey Madison is like very good at the end when it's revealed she's a killer. You see Neve Campbell again. You see Courtney Cox again. Jack Quaid is another one where he kind of like flies under the radar as a really like interesting like Scream 6. I think might like actually I think people like more.
I
I
like it.
don't. I don't like it more. I think it's a little bit much having three killers that goes in that one and they're chased around New York. I don't really care for it. This one kind of plays on its roots. Like they're back in the same town, high school kids, even in the same house. I just like all that. Bring it back. And to add on to that, you get pretty good acting performances as well, I think, across the board. It's very likable, very fun. Um, I know, like I said, like a lot of people like six more. I like this one a little bit more. And you can't tell me that when Dewey dies, you don't like sob a little bit.
Oh
Like
yeah, no, definitely,
when Dewey
definitely.
dies, I wanted to die. But I'm gonna go with Scream 5 for this one.
You didn't even bring him up, I don't think. Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, like really, really good.
Yeah, what? No, I brought them up.
Did you? I
Yeah.
didn't even hear you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, agreed. They are very good. It sucks that they won't be
Be
back.
back for the next one. Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
curious to see how they're gonna do this next one.
yeah. And they're bringing a lot of people back, I think. Like, so we'll see. But again, like I think I was more interested on like how good Mikey Madison and Jack Quaid were as the killers. Because they were like, they bring them back to the same house, same town. Um, I don't know. I like stuff like that. It's very, and of course it plays on nostalgia. You know how much I love the first one. That would have been my first pick, probably if we did a horror
Yeah.
movie of all time draft. So I'm gonna go with Scream 5. The last pick, number 5. I'm kind of between two. I'm gonna do one that was another because like we'll talk about the good ones, right? If this one was also a slasher film and it kind of we saw it together, I think over Thanksgiving break when I came back home. Um, and it was kind of like fun. I remember like watching it and being like, wow, this is actually pretty funny. We don't know who really the killer is. But that is in 2023, Thanksgiving. You remember
I
Thanksgiving?
I cannot believe you took that movie in this draft.
Nah, dude, like it's fun. I don't care, bro. It is fun. It's funny. It's another slasher who done it. Like you could go, kind of anywhere with this pick, but I know we're gonna talk about the other good ones, like we are. But I'm talking about. I wanted to like bring up a movie that was definitely off the rocks. You probably did. You even have it on your list?
No.
Okay. But no, I think it's funny. Um, I mean, there are some bad acting performances, but that doesn't take away from like there's some deaths in there, even with the shopping cart scene at the beginning where you're like, oh my gosh, like that's nasty. And come to find out like who actually is the killer. Um, I think it's fun. There's some funny deaths. There's some interesting deaths. The acting is not superb, but that's what makes those like horror movies funny sometimes. And I remember I thought I talked about it with you that I was like actually kind of surprised on how much I liked it, but I don't even remember if you remember talking about that. You might have hated it. I can't even remember.
I
But
didn't hate it, but I did not even write it down. And there are several movies that I feel like you're not thinking of, and you're gonna be like, damn.
yeah, I mean I
Um,
probably overlooked some, but I know that one is fun. I'm gonna
if
wait to
you
see.
like that, you're gonna really like Hard Eyes. If
Yeah,
you
see, I think I would like Hard Eyes as well.
Hard Eyes is like similar vibes,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. But
But
I
no,
think it's a lot
it's
better.
goofy,
It's
it's got some funny deaths, and I mean, yeah, I just
hey, man.
and I have a soft spot for slasher movies. I
Yeah,
just
there you go. You got two slash movies here. So, um, all right. Well, that rounds you out. Thanks, Scream 5 and Thanksgiving. So with last pick in the draft, I still have several movies here. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna pick like personal favorite at all of these. And then we'll talk about honorable mentions. But Man, this is tough. Um, I'm gonna go. Damn, dude, what do I want to do? Do I want to go like more of a horror, or do I want to go a horror comedy? Um, it's tough. All right, I think I'm gonna go more pure horror. A movie that came out last year, sequel. I liked the first one. I didn't think it was just that great, but the second one definitely takes it to the next level. It's a very, very good sequel. And it's the rare instance in like horror movies where you get a sequel that's better than the original, and that's Smile 2. Um, Smile 2, I don't know, you didn't see that one either. Did you see the first one?
I've seen the first one.
First one's all right, it's nothing crazy, but the second one is incredible.
Yeah,
And what's her name? Um, she was a Disney Channel girl. She played Jasmine. She
I'll get
plays
it to you. I'll get it to you. Just keep going.
no, it's bugging me.
Naomi Scott.
Naomi Scott. Naomi Scott is phenomenal. Phenomenal in this movie. It is very, very creepy, like actually scary. I'd say out of all of the movies on my list, like it's definitely the scariest. Out of all of the movies on both of our lists, I think it's the scariest. Um, it's like a pure horror, not funny. It's just like dark, very, very dark and messed up. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Smile 2. Dude, you haven't seen three of the movies on my list. Come on now. Come on, brother.
Yep.
You got to get those numbers up. But yeah, so I'm gonna go Smile 2 with my last pick. I really, really enjoyed that one last year. I think it was number 10 or 11 for me on the year last year. So yeah. Do you want to do you have some honorable mentions? I'm sure you do. I have a
Yeah,
couple.
so I didn't pick this one because I didn't know if it counted as horror, but last night in Soho I found on
Yep, I have that written down as
yeah,
well.
so I didn't know if it counted as horror. I know it's like mystery thriller type deal.
I would give it horror. Yeah.
But yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy is incredible in that movie. Also have like see, I would more do the first one than the second one, but A Quiet Place Part Two also came out. But I think that one's not as much as horror as the first one.
I had the new one written down, Quiet Place Day One, because
Yeah,
I enjoyed.
I think the first one is still the scariest.
I agree.
So like that's why I didn't pick that one. I had both of them like looking at them, but I just feel like the first one is scarier, and the other two are more like they don't focus on the horror as much.
Yeah, and I think the second one is probably the weakest of the three, but they're all great. They're all really good
Yeah.
movies. I had that written down as well. Another Anya Taylor-Joy horror comedy. I had the menu written down.
Oh yeah.
Also very, very different. Not really scary movie, but it's classified as a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Definitely kind of a creepy movie for sure. Another horror comedy, Abigail. I think that came out like early last year. Fantastic movie. I don't think you ever saw that one either. Long Legs, Immaculate, that movie with Sydney Sweeney. I think that was last year or 2 years
Yeah.
ago. Um, and then um, Saw X, the newest installment of the Saw
Um,
movies. I had that written down as well. But
I'm trying to think. Hold on, I'm trying to think of any more I got. Five Nights at Freddy's. Uh,
mm,
um, yeah, the only one that I really found like Last Night in Soho, and then Bodies is like a whodunit. Like
yeah,
that one's funny. I think we saw that together as
yeah,
well. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I'm happy with my list to be honest with you. Like,
yeah. So I'll round them out again. So you got Nosferatu, The Black Phone, Candyman, the reboot, Scream 5, and Thanksgiving. I got Barbarian, The Substance, X, Alien Romulus, and Smile 2. Definitely a list of some great horror movies. I really want you to go and watch some of the ones that you missed last year.
I want to find The Substance. I gotta
If
find that and go
you can
watch it.
find it. I think it's literally playing in theaters this week, like leading up to the Oscars. You just
Guess
got
I'll
to
have to
find
go
it.
see an Oscar bait movie the whole week. Come
Could be.
home and watch Flow.
Yeah, there you go. Palate cleanser after the substance for
There
sure.
you go.
But yeah, no, that's a good draft. We need to when you start kind of, I guess, based on our other upcoming reviews, we'll come up with some other fun drafts as well.
Yep.
So, but yeah, we just wanted to do that kind of in honor of the monkey, even though it sucked. But yeah. All right. Last thing on the agenda, as we do every week, just kind of wanted to recap some of the stuff that we've both been watching. I feel like I watched a lot of stuff this week, so I just wanted to kind of touch on it and also, see what you had been watching as well. So I know the last 2 weeks I've been talking about it, last 2 or 3 weeks. I think yesterday, yeah, it was yesterday, or maybe it was Friday. I don't know. I finished my rewatch of Daredevil. I finished season 3 of Daredevil. In preparation for the new season, which premieres next week. Next week, we got like a week and a half left. I had not watched this show, since high school. I think season 3 came out like my freshman year of college, like that first semester or something. But the previous 2 seasons, it had been like a while. Um, and I enjoyed them when I was in high school, but like I don't think I really realized and appreciated like how elite that they were. And then season 3 is just like one of the best seasons of television ever, I think. Um, it is a borderline perfect show. Legit. It is a borderline perfect show. I've always struggled with trying to figure out what my like when you're talking about like your favorite shows of all time. It's always been like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, 1 and 2, but I've always struggled finding what that number 3 is. And I think after this rewatch, I can confidently say that I think Daredevil is number 3 for me. I just forgot how unbelievably elite that show is. Um, I am just beyond stoked for the next season, but I'm also, after this rewatch, bro, I am terrified
Yep.
because they have such a high bar to live up to. And if it is not up to the caliber of the Netflix show, like I am going to be disappointed. A lot of people are going to be disappointed. I have faith in them, from the trailers and everything, and the actors talking about it. Like it looks like it's going to be just as good, if not better. But it's just scary, you know. It had a perfect ending. It is such an earned final battle between him and Fisk, um, in that season 3 finale. And he doesn't even have his like Daredevil fit on. He's just got the black, with the black mask or whatever. And he's got the ropes on his hands and he's just beating the crap out of him in his penthouse apartment, just bloodying him up. And he takes off his mask and he's like, I won. It's just so satisfying. It's so earned. I know I've done talked about Daredevil for 5 minutes now, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of rant on that a little bit. I finally have a good answer, I feel like, for my number 3 TV show of all time, and that's Daredevil.
Nice.
And then also, I'm probably because of that, I'm going to start The Punisher soon, uh,
Nice.
for sure. I haven't watched The Punisher since it came out either, so that'll definitely be a fun rewatch. I will say, like I said, it's a borderline perfect show. The only part of it that I don't love is towards the end of season 2. It gets a little convoluted in the storyline. They try to introduce like the Hand and that mysterious organization, and it's just very weird, and it doesn't really feel like it's really a part of like the main story that's going on with like Frank Castle in that season. Then it just kind of like turns into the Hand. That's whatever, but other than that, like season 1 and season 3 are just literally perfect, and most of season 2 is perfect. Um, but yeah. So after that long-winded whatever, yeah, that's one of the big things I watched this week. Did you watch any shows or movies this week?
Yeah, so I actually watched and finished on the day it came out. Zero Day, the new release from Netflix. Robert De Niro, Lizzie Kaplan, Jesse Plemons. You're probably gonna give it a watch, I would imagine. I mean, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Um, so I told Cole I rated it a 6 out of 10. I don't think it knew what it wanted to be the first half. They were throwing a lot of different storylines at you, and you were like, okay, they resolved some like the same episode, that you were like, okay, this could go somewhere. They would just resolve them. The acting isn't anything like crazy. Um, I say that the last 2.5 episodes are pretty good. Jesse Plemons' character, like his little storyline, you're like, oh, okay. And I hate to say this because I hate to like be like this, but there were comments made by a character in the first episode or like early second episode, and I was like, they're in on it. Like they did it. That was right. Um, but yeah, there's little things you can pick up on. Robert De Niro is fine. There's some things that like they bring up about his character and they like are found out like that. And you're like, what? Okay. Like there's a big reveal, like you're like, okay, this could go somewhere, and they don't bring it up again in the second half of the show. So like it's not perfect. It's entertaining at sometimes, but other times you like
It's
don't
really
really
short,
care.
right?
Yeah, it's 6 episodes. It's a quick watch. Um, it's not Daredevil by any means. But yeah, I mean, I kind of expected more. It's a really cool premise, and I think it's just a little flat, unfortunately.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I might check it out. I've been grinding Daredevil, but now that I'm finally done, I finally have like more time to watch some other stuff. And I'm not gonna like try to grind Punisher
Yeah.
before Daredevil. I'll just like probably, kind of slowly watch that here and there, just give it a rewatch. But um yeah, so I spent most of my week watching that. I did squeeze in a couple movies. I don't know if you heard about it. It came out last year. Dee Dee.
Mm.
It's like a coming of age movie about a young boy from Taiwan. Uh, you remember mid '90s, the skate movie, that skating movie? It's very similar to that, and it also has like skateboarding in it as well. It's just a young like 12 or 13-year-old the summer before high school, and it's just a good like coming of age movie. I think you'd like it. It's on Amazon. I give it a recommend. It was really good. We saw The Brutalist. I watched The Stupid Monkey, and then today, after I got out of The Monkey, I needed like a good movie. And this is a movie that I just saw today was on Prime. I've been wanting to watch it for years because it's never on streaming. And I watched it today for the first time, and that is The Last Samurai with Tom
Oh,
Cruise.
oh,
Have you seen that?
no, I haven't, but that is
Dude,
interesting. When
I have never seen that movie. I'm the biggest Tom Cruise guy ever, and that's one of his few ones that I had never watched.
yeah,
Because I've literally been looking for it for years, and it's never on streaming. Never. It's like never on streaming. And for some reason it like popped up on my Prime today. I was like, so I instantly watched that, and dude, that is a freaking awesome movie.
yeah,
Awesome movie. Um, Very different than a lot of Tom Cruise's stuff. A lot of his stuff's like more modern and everything. So to
yeah.
kind of see him in a setting like in the 1800s, um, very good, very good. And the
Nice.
samurais are just sick. But yeah, no, really enjoyed the last samurai. Did you watch anything else?
Yeah, so this weekend, I went back home. That's why I wasn't able to see the monkey. And Avery, my brother, had said that he wanted to start a Taylor Sheridan show. Thought he was going to say Yellowstone, and I was like, whatever. But he wanted to start Landman, which came out last year, with Billy Bob Thornton, John Hamm, Demi Moore's in it. Um, and I have to say, I can never get into Yellowstone from like Cameron watched it. And I didn't like any of the characters. I was like, they all suck. Like, I hate them. Billy Bob Thornton in this show, he has some of the greatest one-liners you ever heard. Like, dude, me and Avery are sitting on the couch just like dying laughing. And there are some parts that I don't care for. Like there's some storylines, there's like 3 or 4 storylines going on. But Billy Bob Thornton is actually really good. Also John Hamm is good as a supporting role. He's like Billy Bob Thornton's boss.
I don't even
Um,
think I knew he was in that.
yeah, he plays like
My
the
parents,
head.
my
Yeah.
parents watched it last year.
Um, I think personally, no, I haven't watched all of Yellowstone, but like this is more likable and more watchable to me than Yellowstone. To me. Um, but yeah, no, dude, Billy Bob Thornton is so damn funny. I mean, dude, like, there's a scene in this car. that like he's with his daughter. And his daughter's like basically describing like how he was gonna get how she wanted to get with this guy. And he like looks over and basically just yells at her. It's like,
I think
just yells at her.
I think I remember seeing that clip on Twitter
It
when it
is
came
so
out.
damn funny,
I
dude.
saw a lot of mixed reviews on that show when it came out too. A lot of
Yeah,
people were
like
divisive on it.
the the last episode I actually really enjoyed. Um, but again, there's parts of the show that I like do not care about. Same thing with like Game of Thrones. They're following five storylines,
You
and
can't say anything about Game of Thrones
yes,
until
I
you
can.
finish it.
Yes, I can. And one or two storylines you just don't care about. But no, I mean it's not horrible. Would I like? Am I gonna recommend it to somebody? Probably not. But like my parents watched it. My aunt and uncle watched it. Now me and Avery have watched it. So, and then there was another movie me and Cameron watched last week. I had never seen before with Michael Keaton. It's called The Founder. About
You never seen it?
I've never seen it. Came out in 16, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty good movie.
yeah, about the McDonald's, like the start of McDonald's, and you really learn to hate Ray Kroc.
Yeah,
You learn to hate him.
yep. Very similar to like the Social Network. It's like,
Yeah,
kind of stole,
yeah.
basically stole their idea.
It's not like groundbreaking or anything, but like it is kind of cool to see like how the McDonald's started, and then you kind of like hate Michael Keaton's character. But yeah, no, like we watched that, and it was fine, and then yeah, nothing too crazy. This week, like this segment next week, I'm hoping to have like three or four things on it.
Yeah, yeah, me too. And that kind of rolls us into the end as well. But um, I don't even really think there's a big release this week. I was looking earlier today. Um, I don't think there's like hardly anything worth going to see. Um, I mean, we can talk about it and see. But yeah, next week might just be like some news. We might try to do something new, maybe a different draft or something.
Maybe a bracket.
Maybe a bracket of some sort. Maybe. Um, but then the next week. Wait, I'm dumb. We're not going to have a movie review, but we're going to have the Oscars to react to. I forgot. After the Oscars next week, we are going to record immediately after and react. So
Yep.
that's perfect. We don't have to talk about a movie, and we can talk about that instead. So yeah, we'll have the Oscars next week, and then uh, l- next week's great because we got first two episodes of Daredevil and Mickey 17.
Yeah,
So next week's going to be awesome.
yeah, we'll get Daredevil 2 episodes. We'll get Mickey 17. We'll get
Another
Severance
episode of
episode
Severance.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Have a
next
lot of
week.
stuff. Next couple weeks we'll have some exciting stuff to talk about. But yeah. So stay tuned next week for the Oscars episode, Oscars reaction.
Yeah,
Um maybe we need to put some money down.
maybe. I
Can we
mean,
bet on the can we bet on the Oscars in this
I don't
state?
know what app can do it, but
Or you want to give us the outro?
yeah. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. This is episode 8. Like we said, we're enjoying it. Y'all are actually being very awesome on the YouTube shorts and TikToks and everything. We see y'all commenting and stuff. And follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok. All the links will be below. We're gonna have instant reactions probably on Twitter about Oscar stuff, and then we'll be like right here on the podcast. We'll get it out the next day. But yeah, no, we enjoy it, man. We're having a bunch of fun. We're seeing movies that like otherwise we might just overlook or not talk about, and we enjoy it. Like The Gorge was a pleasant surprise last week, and we
And the
enjoyed doing
monkey
that.
was not.
Huh? And the
And the
monkey
monkey
apparently
was
was not.
not.
So, no, man, we enjoy it. We love y'all. Y'all are being awesome, and we're gonna continue to do new short form content, whatever we find out, and hopefully we can get some more segments and stuff. So,
Yep. All right, man. Well, I guess we'll see you guys next week. Oscars reaction. Woo!
bye.